Let's talk about my preferences, what gets my juices flowing, what makes me tick. What I'm looking for and what I really like is more of a balanced sound signature with a slight bass boost. I like my bass, but I like my bass tight, I like it fast, I like it to hit hard and have some slam. I do not like that extra big bass shelf boost that's sub-bass driven, where the lower bass is scooped out. I think it's really important to have that information down there to make instrumental like piano, guitar, cello sound correct. But also I like the bass fast enough, speedy enough to make kick drums sound great. When it comes to the rest of the mids, I prefer an overall, maybe slightly warm tilt. I'm not a big fan of overly analytical, too dry a tuning. I'd rather have something a bit more musical. When we start to climb up into the ear gain region, make that pinna gain not so steep, but give some energy to some body into the mids. Again, making vocals sound correct, making instrumentals sound correct. I'm a big fan of timbre and tonality when it comes to instrumental as well. It has to sound correct to my ears. That 5K area also, I'm a bit sensitive to it. If there's too much information up there, I get fatigue, I get ringing in my ears, and it just doesn't let me play it longer and, more importantly, louder, because I do like my tunes louder. When it comes to the rest of the frequencies up top, I do like an extended treble, but not a peak above the pinna rise. Keep it extended, keep it detailed, but don't put too much energy up there for treble sensitive people like myself. It's got to have enough information to make great stage, to give instrument placement, to make strings sound good, female vocals that aren't too thick. That's what really gets me going, and that's what I'm looking for sound preference wise. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the CVJ Yukimi. Now this is a single 10mm dynamic driver IM, $209. And let me go into a little bit about my journey with this one. So, to take a step back even further for a second, the reason I started this channel was to myth bust, to break up some of the hype. I know I've caused my fair share as well, but not going to be on this one, just so you know, fair warning. And I bought this one. I did buy it at a discount from CVJ, so thank you for that. But I didn't see any reviews. I haven't seen any graphs, and everything on marketing sounded really good. Let's this is the I'll show you the packaging and everything. First of all, I mean, first class. This is a collaboration with Angel Ears and CVJ. Okay, collaborations coming out of everyone's bunghole. The presentation, spectacular, right? You open this up, CVJ, Angel Ears, more info, a whole bunch of marketing and writing. I'm not going to get too deep into it. You'll understand why. Let's talk about this. And this is what I saw and what made me interested in this. So, new generation large size dynamic driver unit. It turns out it's 10 millimeter. So it's they call it a diamond grade carbonized diaphragm. Unparalleled hardness and rigidity, maintains low distortion, strong dynamics, even at high SPLs. It has a really nice voice coil, aluminum magnesium inner chamber to minimize distortion, enhanced harmonics, and controlled resonances. My best to this date is my $930 Soft Ears Twilight, and I know that driver is very good, but really what makes that IM special is all the things they had to do to make that driver sound special with venting and all that kind of stuff. And what got me when I saw this guy is their venting tech, and their shell is absolutely gorgeous fitting as well. Nice modular cable, that kind of stuff. And so they're talking about exquisite build with 5-axis CNC machine shells. Absolutely. 100%. Super pretty in this gloss, kind of whitish. It says Yukimi on the side. It is all so well done. I'm going to skip that part. I'm going to come back to it. Professional electronic and physical tuning. So they're talking about not only has physical tuning in the chambers themselves to control dampening and the overall sound tuning, but it sounds like they also use an electronic crossover inside of this to control it as well. I'm not going to pull up a graph yet. First of all, let's get to this high-quality silver-plated cable. Comes with a large gauge 556 strand configuration using high purity silver plated copper material wires. That is quite a nice cable. Let me just pull off the ends. The modular ends are nice. It's kind of a very rubberized though, tangly. It's sticky more than anything else, not tangly. The splitter works, chin slider works. Look at these beautiful ends, flat 2-pin. Wait a second. Let me look at this IM. That is a deep recessed socket. Okay, red flag number 1. They looks like they just paired up this cable to this IM just for color aesthetics. But you normally see this the other way around, where you get an extended 2-pin and flat socket, not a recessed socket and a flat 2-pin. That, though it does go in and sit flush, no doubt about that, it's a little whacked. It's backwards. Why wouldn't you pair this up with a proper... You could say that about a lot of IMs. Okay, moving on. Let's go back to this one. Marketing speak. Accurate, balanced sound profile. CVJ Yukimi has been tuned meticulously for a precise, balanced sound profile. The pair delivers strong, powerful bass response with accurate vocal rendition and nicely detailed instruments. The carbonized crystal diaphragm and CCAW coil creates a perfect harmony between different frequencies and provides the users with a balanced sound profile that complements different genres of music well. Well, how many times did they use balanced in that? I think 3 times. Here comes red flag number 2. I get these in, I do my first listen, and it's the wowie wow factor of upper mids. But there's an issue in the fact that right channel high frequencies, I can clearly hear less on my right ear. So not nearly as much sparkly. That's Kilo letting me know FedEx is showing up with some new channeling toys. All right, where were we? We were talking about channel imbalance. So I had a clue, and then I normally graph these things after I have a first listen and get some impressions down, just as a mental exercise as well, and just confirmed what I was hearing, which there was a decent enough that I could hear it, channel imbalance between the left side and right side. So that was first thing. So before I make this video, to be completely fair, if you heard that, you would probably reach out as well to the manufacturer, as I did to CVJ directly. Was I offered a replacement? No. No response other than they said they would let the factory know. I'm leaving that there. So for me, I fixed the channel imbalance quite easily with a couple nozzle filters. It's easier for me because I have a graphing tool and a microphone that I can do that. So I did that. I fixed that. It was a 200 level filter on the right and a 350 on the left. And away I went. I got them channel balanced. Okay, so that was one. After my first initial listen was like, let's go back to that accurate balanced sound profile. Not a freaking chance. There's so much upper mids. Look at this graph. It's in your face. That 5K peak, oh my God, one song, my ears are ringing. There's just not enough stuff down below to balance it off. It was just the wow factor. Now, if you love a tremendous amount of upper mids, this is actually a very good dynamic driver that's inside the Yukimi. You will get all of that and more with your stock tuning. Do you guys remember the SimGot EA500 tape mod over the front vent? Well, it has a massive front vent on this, so I thought, okay, well, maybe I can get a bit of a bass boost, balance things off a little bit more, because the nozzle filters weren't really taming that 5K peak. So I tried it, put a little piece of transport tape over that front giant vent, and indeed you get about 3 to 4 more dBs of bass. I'd probably get more if I blocked more, but I didn't want to make it too restrictive, just in case I didn't want to damage the driver. So, and yes, it does balance it off a bit more, but oh man, there is still, this is nowhere close. You can't call this a balanced tuning. There's no way. And there's just so much upper mid energy there that there's not even that much treble energy past the upper mids to balance the upper mids off. So unless you like an EA500 boosted to the max, then you're not going to like this one either. So I was kind of disappointed in that. So, I mean, here everything came, gorgeous shell, nice marketing speak. Everything was talking the talk, but it was not walking the walk. And so today, when I was just doing my final listen and did some comparisons to another one, which I have the NF acoustics or NF now, the RA15. And the RA15 and this one modified tape mod, nozzle mods graph the same, virtually. They don't sound the same, that's for sure. The driver than the Yukimi is definitely better, and what they've done to the tuning overall is better. The RA15 with the gold nozzles, I'll show you that. It looks the same. The NF audio still has more upper mids and sibilants. When I was listening to the Friction by the Crystal Method, it was EDM no go. The Yukimi does hit much harder, goes deeper, sounds more natural. Top end is more controlled. It's still spicy, but treble heads will absolutely go goo goo gaga on this one and love it to smithereens. But all that energy at 5K, if you're treble sensitive to that area, which I seem to be, again, one song ringing in ears for hours, I'm done. The thing is, it is definitely better than the RA15, but it's 2.5 times the price. RA15's $89 with nozzles and tunings, where this one is just, $210. To be fair, let's throw it against one of my faves, the Dunu Falcon Ultra at $220. So $10 more than the Yukimi. What do you get? You still get a really, really nice Dunu modular cable, nicer case, that's for sure. But sound-wise, deeper organic sounding bass, clear note definition, more natural sounding all around, with less upper mids and treble, with the blue filters that I used on the Falcon Ultra, which is my favorite, with better technicalities, more natural sounding replay. Just to conclude this shorty, I think the CVJ has quality control issues. I did the same with the Zigats when I got a few in and went back to Zigat and I said, hey, this has got channel imbalance, what would you like to do? And they said, well, it's within plus or minus 5 dB, that's perfectly normal. Live with it. Okay, that's quality control issues. If KZ can get perfect channel balancing on a 16 driver per side $25 IM, you sure in hell can do it on a $210 IM. So no excuses. That cable, I mean, come on. Recessed 2-pin, flat 2-pin. Going the opposite way, I wouldn't have too much of an issues, but this is just yeah. And it's simply outclassed by the Dunu for $10 more. Really, it's a nice IM looking wise, but the marketing speak is not accurate. I'd have issues with the quality control and the response to it. Really. Not for $210, no. I think this thing is worth $100, maybe $130, pushing on it. But I would tell you at a hard pass on this one. So, this is Tone Deaf Monk. Thank you. Bringing you all the good shit. This is the Tone Deaf Monk. Keeping it fun, keeping it real. Out for now.